This is how we ride. This is how we do.
Well, your boy didn't win. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's all right. Coming back up from the back's all right.
Oh, okay. Is that the only reason?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Larsonitis.
Wow.
Worse than COVID, in my opinion. Got to get the hat right?
Yeah, you got to get the hat right.
So.
Did Larson stick around to talk to you, man?
No. Larson doesn't. He didn't.
He's got a job he's got to do.
Well, he could. It's because he couldn't get the job done tonight. But at the end of the day, the rumors are true. You are retiring now, correct?
No, I'm not retiring.
No.
I'm not even close to retiring.
Well, I know. It was funny. Gravel said he was 30 years old. He's got plenty of years left. But you still have plenty of years left, right? I mean.
45. I got plenty of years left.
Well. It was an interesting race. The track changed, it looked like a little bit, the bottom.
Absolutely, the dynamic changed a bit the whole race. I really thought the top would be good. I don't know if anybody could run it in front of me, but we kept getting passed on the bottom. So just fell back several spots, and it started to get a little bit frustrated with not being able to keep up. But, we tuned up for the end of the race, and we gave up a lot at the beginning. That's obviously what cost us at the beginning, because the track was speeded up and we just weren't speeded up with it. So we gambled with that. We changed some things on the motor to make sure we were good at the end of the race, because we, at the end of 25 laps, both the two prior features earlier in the week, we were okay, but we weren't where we needed to be. So it's just a gamble you take. That's part of the adjustments. It's part of tuning these motors, and Scoob had it right. I just had to get myself in a good spot or be far enough, close enough in the front to where I was going to have an opportunity at the end, and we did.
Well, and I heard how you had mentioned, like, y'all have been working a lot, changing stuff to get to this point. Over the last month, it seems like you've gained some speed. Did y'all just start clicking with under the hood, or what was going on?
Well, we've got motors where we can control how they run a lot better than what we used to. And once we have a motor, there's only so many things we can change. It's fuel, nozzles, timing, stacks. We can do things to cut the air down, or let more air go. So that's just the dynamic of any motor. And unfortunately, everybody else in the pits has got one brand, and we got one that's another brand, and so our window's a lot smaller for tuning adjustments, and so it makes it a little bit harder on us, but that's the way it is. Ford just won the Knoxville Nationals.
That's what I was about to say. That is it. How big of a deal do you think this is for Ford? Is this something they really wanted?
It is huge. This has been a lot of work in the progress. There was times when we thought, man, we're in trouble, but we really weren't. We just weren't working. We weren't doing the right things at the right times. Ford just won the Knoxville Nationals, and it was awesome at the end. So we have the ability to do anything we need to do now. We have a big window. We have a lot of adjustment range, and that's important. So I'm happy for that.
Do you think this is going to start a new kind of dominant run for you, possibly? Because, like I said, this last
dominant. Let's not say prominent. Let's not say dominant. Let's just say consistent. Consistency is how you get to winning championships. Domination is something that's really, really hard to do in today's environment anymore. I don't know if you're going to see it with the way the tires are and the way the cars are. Maybe occasionally here and there. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say dominant. I'm just going to say that we're consistent, and you gotta be consistent before you can consistently win. And when you start consistently winning, then that gets on to another level. So I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, if you got this little thing that y'all are working in, and y'all are the only ones working in it, if you hit it right, then that means y'all could have an advantage over everyone else as well.
I don't know that there'll ever be an advantage in this game again when it comes to motors or it comes to anything, but consistency, what wins championships, consistency, what wins races, and when you race 90 races a year, that's what you gotta feed towards. So, that's what we're going to stick with right now, and unless someone forces us to change it, that's what we're going to continue down that path.
And I'm guessing over these next few weeks it's got to be all right to be a little closer, Jackson, than up where you're from, before you go to the West Coast for a string.
Absolutely. We got a good bunch of motor combinations. We still got some stuff to test when we get to the West Coast that we're pretty excited about that we haven't had on the racetrack before. So we got a pretty good fleet of Fords ready to try. And the nice part is when you get in that zone, when you get closer, then you can feel things that that other motors don't. And sometimes it's good to back them. We got the opportunity to do that from here on out for the rest of the year, because everything after this is kind of downhill. We get to spend next weekend at Jackson, and then we go up in North Dakota our way, and then we're out to Skagit and down the West Coast. So a lot of fun races coming, a lot of big events, but yeah, a lot of opportunities for us to try to get better.
So basically 11-time Nationals and World of Outlaw is coming next year. Now that you're a little too far behind this year.
It's possible, but it's not realistic. I think we can probably get to second or third, but all we can do is what we do. We don't aim for a certain spot. We aim for the top. So that's what we're still aiming for.
Okay. Are you happy?
I'm happy, man. I'm very happy. It's hard to get yourself in a mode where you get in and you do this, and then when it's all over, your emotions just come out right now. My emotions are going to come out in a couple hours when I can get away by myself.
Digress a little bit.
And you let it digest it a little bit, and when you're on your own, but it's hard to do it when everyone wants a piece of you.
Okay. Well, sorry I took a piece. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Am I supposed to feel guilty?
You're not supposed to feel guilty.
Okay. I waited for every autograph, just like Kyle.
You're the man.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, Chaz.
Blue oval. Red, white, and blue always, right? Is that the key? Okay.
Red, white, and blue is the flag.
This is how we ride, this is how we do. Ride mud slide.